I got some new drugstore makeup. So I want to try some of this out with you guys here today on camera. A couple of these things I've tried once or twice, but most of this stuff is going to be first impressions. So if you like hauls, if you like first impressions, if you like drugstore makeup, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and try some of this on because I'm super excited to test this out. In true Ulta fashion, one of my items did come broken. Sadly, this little blush from Essence, their Blush Crush in the shade Strawberry Flush, is completely shattered, but two of the other shades I got in this formula made it intact. I have Deep Rose and Caramel Latte. I've already tried a Caramel Latte, and spoiler alert, I love it. Love, 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 love it. So Caramel Latte, Deep Rose, and Strawberry Flush. Strawberry Flush seems to be the most shimmery. It's not really glittery, but it does have some like golden sort of pearlescence to it. But wait, there's more blush. So I got two liquid blushes. The first is the Baby Got Blush liquid blush from Essence. I got the shade Dusty Rose. And then I also got the new L'Oreal Lumi liquid blush. And I think this is in the rose shade as well. Oh yeah, it's in the shade 601 Dewy Worth It, which I believe was described as like a dusty mauve rose type of shade. We also got the new Infallible 24-hour fresh wear highlighter from L'Oreal, the powder highlighter. I got the lighter one in the shade 05 Icy Gold. I love the Infallible line from L'Oreal. Their powder foundation, their powder bronzer is like amazing. So I was super excited to see they launched a powder highlighter because I personally love powder highlighters. And this one looked super intriguing to me because it is a really light icy shade, but unlike most icy highlighters that pull like pink or blue or even like lavender, this one has a little bit of a gold shift, which I thought was super unique and interesting. So I'm really excited to try this out. I also got an Epic Ink liner from NYX. So this is not a new product. NYX has had the Epic Ink liners forever, but they launched some new shades, and I picked up the shade Graham Cracker, which just looks like the most gorgeous chocolatey brown, which I am in love with. I've been on a kick with the brown eyeliner. I love my One Size Point Made liquid liner in the shade Busty Brown. That's like the perfect everyday liner because it's not too harsh. It's super soft. So I was really excited to see that NYX launched one. I want to see if this is just as good as my One Size because it's obviously much more affordable. And then the rest of the products that I got are all lip products. I got the new So Juicy Plumping Glossy Lip Oil from Woo! Excuse me. I got the new ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Glossy. Can I say this? I got the new ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Glossy Lip Oil in the shade Hits Diff, which again is just a beautiful rosy nude. I guess I was just on a rose kick when I got all this stuff. I got another lip oil from NYX. This is their Fat Oil Lip Drip. I have tried this formula before. I'm a big fan, and NYX launched some new shades, some more nude shades, so I wanted to try one out. So this one is in the shade Splash of Cream, which looks like the most gorgeous, like milky, beigey tone almost. So I'm excited to see how this looks on the lips. I think it'll be really pretty with like a deeper brown lip liner. Also from NYX, I got their Fat Oil Slick Click. So this is one of those little click up glossy lip balm, lip gloss, lipstick hybrid sort of products. I really love the one from ColourPop. I have the one from Tarte that I enjoy. So I wanted to see NYX's take on this type of product, and this one is in the shade Going Viral. In general, I feel like NYX just nails it when it comes to lip products, so I really have high hopes for this. I also got a lipstick from L'Oreal. I don't know the last time that I tried a lipstick, but the shade of this looks super intriguing and it matches the blush that I got. This is in the shade 601 Worth It. It looked really pretty on the swatch, and I feel like I saw a promo ad like on Instagram or something, and it just looked gorgeous on the model. This is like a satin finish lipstick, and I mean, look at that color. It is stunning. And last but not least, I got the new Slim Stick from Essence. This is a long-lasting lipstick in a really unique, slim, lengthy package. At first, I thought these were lip balms, but it's actually like a matte lipstick, which I'm not mad at. And the color of this is like having me drool just looking at it. It's in the shade Brickroad 103. It feels really soft and pillowy. This is one of the products that I have tried previously, and I really love it. It is matte, but it doesn't feel drying at all. It almost has like a silicone-y type feel to where it like glides over the lips and feels really smooth and soft, and it actually stays in place for a really long time. I'm excited to try this stuff on. I'm gonna go ahead and do my complexion, foundation, concealer, all that stuff, because obviously I just went ham with the blushes and the lip products. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and just have a fun try-on party. Okay, I did my foundation, my concealer, and a quick little eyeshadow look. So let's try this eyeliner on before we move on to the complexion and the lips. So it's a precise brush tip, ink-like pigments, one stroke payoff matte finish. Those are the claims. And again, this is in the shade Graham Cracker. First impressions, I really like this eyeliner. It's super pigmented. It glid. It went on easily over my eyeshadow, no complaints. The tip is super precise, so you can get a nice sharp wing. If you go over the line like multiple times, it doesn't get bunchy or crunchy or anything weird like that. I love the shade of this brown. It adds some like definition to my lash line, but it's not as stark as a black would be, and it does seem to dry down to a matte finish. Ignore my uneven wings. I have two different eye shapes, so the struggle is real when it comes to winged liner, but I do really love this formula, and usually I'm more of a felt tip girly, but this brush is pretty easy to use. I will say, just from experience of using the black liner in this, you want to be careful when putting on the cap, because if you accidentally like nick the brush, it can sort of bend the little brush hairs, and then you're gonna get it frayed and it's not gonna be as precise. Just be really careful when putting on the cap. Other than that, so far so good. All right, let's go ahead and try the liquid blushes. I'll do one on one side and one on the other side. Let's start off with the L'Oreal Lumi liquid blush. There's a swatch of it right there. Just a really pretty nude pinky color. So in this formula, there are two different finishes. There's one that's more shimmery and one that's more dewy. I think this is just the regular dewy natural finish. Yeah, dewy worth it. So this one doesn't have any shimmer particles in it. I'm not so sure how to apply this. I feel like the safer bet would be to apply some on the back of my hand and then go in that way, but I kind of want to see how it'll work if I just apply it directly to the cheek. We'll start off with one little dot. Well, seems pretty pigmented, but it's blending out easily, and it doesn't seem like it's picking up any of the foundation underneath. Maybe slightly, but it's really hard to tell. It doesn't look like it's breaking anything apart, and I really love the color of that. I think that looks pretty, but I'm just gonna try to build it up just to see. For science, I'm just gonna add like that tiny little bit more. No, it seems to be getting a little bit weird when you try to layer it. I don't know if you can tell. Where I try to layer it, there's kind of like a bald spot here. One of my favorite liquid blush formulas in general, but especially from the drugstore, the e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes. You can layer these up multiple times and they don't get patchy like that, so that's a bit of a bummer. And I think the e.l.f. ones are more affordable as well. And honestly, the shade of these is so similar. If the e.l.f. can layer and it's more affordable, then why not just go for the e.l.f.? The shades are almost identical. The L'Oreal is probably a little bit more muted, whereas the e.l.f. has just a little bit more vibrancy to it, but honestly on the cheeks, I feel like they would look almost identical. Okay, so you do get less product with the e.l.f. You get 4 milliliters with the e.l.f. and 10 with the L'Oreal. So maybe it works out to be about the same price, but honestly, I kind of prefer the formula of the e.l.f. All right, let's go ahead and try the Baby Got blush from Essence on this cheek. I'm really excited about this because I love Essence. Essence has super affordable products, and a lot of them are really good. This is one of those spongy tip blushes, and it actually has a little closer, which is nice because Charlotte Tilbury products actually do have this little locking mechanism to prevent the product from seeping out. A lot of the dupes that the drugstore brands have come out with don't have the little lock, so it's super messy. It's already a messy packaging, but like without the lock, it's like really messy. So let's squeeze a little bit out. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. Let's put a little bit on the back of my hand here. Oh, it's pretty natural. Let me grab the rest of it off of my hand. Wow, that is blending out in 2 seconds though. Ooh, that's pretty. I love the slight sheen that it has, but it's not glittery. It's definitely probably the most sheer. Let's see if we can build it up a little bit. This one's sort of getting a little patchy too. Maybe I need to wait a little bit longer between layers. Help me out. Calling for a friend. What am I doing wrong, guys? Maybe it's just user error. I just feel like with my e.l.f. camo blushes, I don't have to do that. They set pretty quickly, so I can go in quickly and build up. So maybe these ones just, you have to wait a little bit longer. We'll see. I'll be right back. All right, here's the thing, friends. My liquid bronzer has never looked so patchy in my entire life. And I use the Milani Conceal and Perfect liquid bronzer that I am super familiar with. It's one of my favorite liquid bronzers, my favorite from the drugstore. When I tell you this got so patchy, it just got so patchy over top of those blushes. I don't know what's happening. It feels like everything is dried down, so I'm gonna try to layer some more. This is probably gonna end badly, but it's fine. Let's see if I take some on the back of my hand. I'm going back in with the essence. And I'm tapping ever so slightly. Let's try to layer up the L'Oreal now. I'm gonna take some on the back of my hand. Wish me luck here. Okay, that's way better. I still think it's looking a little patchy on this essence side. First impressions, I like the liquid blushes, but I feel like there's a little bit of a learning curve. They're not as intuitive or seamless as some of the other liquid blush formulas I've tried. I'm thinking of e.l.f. liquid camo blushes, Rare Beauty. These ones are just a little tricky. Both of them seem to get a little bit patchy as you tried to layer them up. And even if I waited in between coats, it's still not a perfect blend. You can see here I have a little bit of a hole. So I don't know, I'm not sold. I can forgive the essence a little bit more just because it's much more affordable than the L'Oreal. This one is pretty pricey for drugstore and it just doesn't perform like a high-end blush in my opinion, but it's just a first impressions. I'll keep testing them out. So far, they're okay. I also wanted to note that when I was doing my mascara, I noticed that the eyeliner had a slight, teensy bit of a sheen to it, so it's not completely flat matte. It doesn't look shiny. It's not like a lacquered vinyl leather sort of look, but it's not completely matte, so just wanted to note that. Let's go ahead and try this highlighter because this is probably the thing that I'm most intrigued by. So again, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Highlighter, High Radiant Finish in the shade 05 Icy Gold. Ooh, that looks really pretty. I'm gonna grab my little ColourPop F5 brush. This is my favorite highlighter brush. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, it's sticking a little bit over here on this Essence blush. It looks way more smooth on this side. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna fault the highlighter for that, but I'll test it out with other blush formulas and see if it does something similar. But I like the effect of it on this side. I think it looks really pretty. It's blinding, but not glittery or sparkly. And I like how it is a bright highlight, but it has that like golden warmth to it. It's really unique. Let's try one of these blushes from Essence, the powder blushes, the Blush Crush. So I've already tried the Caramel Latte one, and like I said before, I love it. Such a high-end feeling formula. It's like a velvety, smooth powder, builds and blends so seamlessly, and I really love the tone of Caramel Latte. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to try Strawberry Flush because it meant an untimely demise, but we can try Deep Rose, which I feel will suit the look really well and hopefully disguise some of this patchiness. So I'm just gonna take a small little fluffy brush. This is the Morphe x Ariel A22. And I'm just gonna tap in. It does have a little bit of kick up, but nothing crazy. And you can see it's not super pigmented right off the bat. It's a buildable formula, but I actually like that because sometimes a super pigmented blush can just be a little intimidating and a little more difficult for beginners. It's hard to see the true color because we have those liquid blushes underneath, but it's not getting patchy, it's not grabbing, it doesn't look chalky on the skin. I think this formula is a winner. Now that we are blushed enough for 5 people, let's go ahead and test some of these lippies. I'm going to start with the Essence, the Slim Stick, because I'm already familiar with this formula and I know the color is not really gonna go with this look. So again, this is a shade Brickroad 103. It is a long-lasting lipstick and it has like a soft matte formula. It glides on the lips. It feels really pillowy. And even though it's a soft matte formula, it doesn't emphasize lip lines or anything. It feels really comfortable, really lightweight. It's pretty long lasting for not being a liquid lipstick. And I really love the shade of this. It's so pretty. Definitely perfect for fall. So again, this is Essence Brickroad 103. Okay, next let's try the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in 601 Worth It. The packaging on this is really pretty. Ooh, it feels really nice. Very glidey. That's a pretty shade. It's a little bit more cool tone than I normally go, but it's got a little bit of depth to it. So I think it's still wearable, even though I have more of an olivey undertone. Ooh, and it feels fabulous. Again, this is L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in 601 Worth It. Next, let's go ahead and put on the ColourPop So Juicy Glossy Plumping Lip Oil. Again, this is a shade Hits Diff. I have tried this formula 1 or 2 times and I have to say I really love how it feels on the lips. It's very shiny, very nourishing. It's a really beautiful formula. The only thing that I do not like about this is the packaging. This applicator is so hard to get out. The stopper is way too small. You have to really like work this thing out, and the first time I tried to pull it, it got lip oil everywhere. So just beware, you gotta be really careful. And because the stopper is so tight, it knocks off a lot of the product. So the doe foot, even though it's really large, you don't get a lot of product on there. So you have to dip back in and then you gotta work it back out again. So it's a pain. I don't love the packaging, but I do really like the formula, and the color of this is beautiful. So let me show you. I have to dip back in again. And then like all the product ends up on this little tiny edge. Don't love that. It's got a minty smell and like sensation on the lips, but it doesn't sting or burn. And you can see it does have slight pigment, but it's not like overly pigmented. It just adds a little bit of color, and it's really shiny and it feels really good. So again, this is the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Glossy Lip Oil in the shade Hits Diff. Okay, 2 more lippies to go, and they're both from NYX. So let's try on the Fat Oil Lip Drip in Splash of Cream, which again, I have tried this formula before in a different shade. Ooh. This one has like a candy scent. It smells really good. Nice large doe foot applicator, and I much prefer the stopper on this one to the ColourPop. I would say it's a very similar formula. It's slightly thinner than the ColourPop, but both are pretty thick, but not in like a sticky way. And they both give you really nice shine. This is like the perfect nude color. You can pair this with any lip liner. So again, this is the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip in the shade Splash of Cream. Last but not least, let's try on the NYX Fat Oil Slick Click Shiny Lip Balm. And this one is in the shade Going Viral. So you click it up. Okay. It's really pretty. Comparing this to the Tarte Maracuja little sticks and the ColourPop ones, this is definitely much more thin. It feels more like a balm than like a gloss. The other two are more glossy, a little bit thicker in texture, and this is very thin on the lips. The pigmentation is also less intense than the ColourPop or the Tarte, but it still feels really good. It just feels more like a balm. So if the other formulas that you've tried in this style applicator are too thick, too goopy, or you just don't like something super pigmented, you might like this one. It's really nice. I like the color of it. Very pretty. I'll have to, again, test it out some more, wear it with lip liners, see how the longevity is, but first impressions, I think it's nice. If I had to pick between the NYX and the ColourPop So Juicy plumping lip balm things, I would choose the ColourPop just because I like something a little bit more glossy, a little bit more pigmented, but it just depends on your preferences. I wouldn't say one product is necessarily better than the other. It's gonna come down to like what you prefer. I just popped on my Catrice plumping lip liner in Starring Roll. I'm gonna go ahead and use the ColourPop So Juicy glossy plumping nourishing lip oil. Alright guys, so quick rundown on everything that we tried. So far, I love the powder blushes from Essence. I'm gonna have to try the other shades without a liquid blush underneath. I kind of wish they all had a sheen to them. So that's one thing I would say, but they're super affordable and the formula feels way more expensive than they cost. I'm also really excited to keep using this highlighter from L'Oreal. I think it looks so stunning. Not on this side, we're gonna ignore this patchy mess over here. But on this side, it looks healthy, luminous, wet. It's really, really pretty. So I'm super excited about this as well. The liquid blushes, I don't know. They're not the easiest, they're not the most intuitive. They're getting a little patchy when you try to build them up, so I'll keep testing them and keep you updated. Right now, I would say go with the e.l.f. Liquid Camo Blush. Those ones just seem a little bit more foolproof to me. Love the Slim Stick from Essence. This is a gorgeous matte lipstick formula that is very smoothing on the lips and just feels like air, pretty much, like a cloud. Love the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drips. I already knew that I love this formula, but I'm super excited to see more nude shades. I really like this one in Splash of Cream. It's just the perfect like beigey nude. Huge fan of the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Glossy Lip Oil. It is very glossy, it is very nourishing, and I love this shade. Love the shade selection. Lots of pretty nudes to choose from. I just hate the packaging. ColourPop, please fix the packaging on this. The liner from NYX I think was really easy to use. I love the shade. I like that it's not too deep of a brown to where it almost looks like a black. I wish it was just slightly more matte, but that's just me being picky. I think overall it's a really great liquid liner, and if you're in the market for a brown liquid liner from the drugstore, this is a great option. There aren't a lot to choose from. I think the last thing was this lipstick from L'Oreal. This is really pretty. It feels nice going on the lip. It's not sticky, it's not thick, it's not drying. I like the shade of it. It's a little bit more cool tone than I usually go for, but it's nice to have in the collection. I like how it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I like that it doesn't overly emphasize like texture on the lips. So I think it's a good formula. Is it a need? Probably not. But if this shade like super duper speaks to you, then I don't think you would be disappointed. And yeah, I think that's everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this and to hear my thoughts as I continue to test these products. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.